I'm a reformed academic. I used to head a research lab at USC. We did work in AI and virtual reality for education. And I was quite happy doing that until we developed a new technology and method that helps people quickly learn new skills. And we realized that this had more potential than a university would be able to realize on its own. So we launched a company, Alelo, and we started delivering AI-based learning products using the method that we developed, we call virtual role play, in which learners learn new skills by practicing them with artificially intelligent animated characters that can understand what they say and can respond in a way that's appropriate to the situation. And we use this for role-playing different types of scenarios where basically we look at the real-world situation that the learners are going to encounter, and then we create a role-play simulation of that. This proved to be very successful, particularly for people going overseas to Iraq, to Afghanistan, who needed to quickly develop an understanding of the local language and culture. In fact, the 1st Marine Battalion to return from Iraq without any combat fatalities learned from the game that you see here on the left, where they could role-play interactions in Arabic. And that was all very well and good. And it's a good example of AI transforming the learning experience. But we began to see a limitation based on the way that we were developing these products. So basically, we were taking new technology but applying it in tried and true ways in instructional design. So we would develop, we would analyze a language or culture, we would design a product, we would implement it, we would deliver it to the customer, and then we were done. The problem with that is what happens when we wanted to evaluate the effectiveness of the product, when we wanted to collect data from students using the product. We couldn't do that because the product is no longer in our hands. It's on DVDs in computer labs in various places. So we came to recognize that actually this is a barrier to innovation, that particularly for AI-based products, they need access to learner data to see what learners do in order to be able to improve the products over time. So in the past year, I'm happy to say that we have now developed a new cloud-based platform called Enski, which has changed this whole picture. So now our technology runs in the cloud. We were using it initially to help people around the world learn to speak English by having conversations with artificially intelligent animated characters. And so they pull this up on their web browser. They're interacting with one of our characters that's being driven by our cloud-based system, and at the same time is collecting data from the students interacting with the system. This has had a number of impacts. One impact of it is it's enabled rapid expansion of utilization of the technology. So this new Enski product, we developed initially a partner with laureate international universities. Very interesting organization if you're not familiar with them. They have 70 universities around the world. So we did an initial pilot in Thailand and in Chile. And it went very well, so working in 2 countries. Now students are using it in 10 countries. By early next year, we expect it to be used throughout the laureate network. This will become required English language training across the network. Because this is running in the cloud, it has made this rapid expansion possible. Cloud-based cognitive services are also very important for making this possible. So the Enski server is what's driving this capability, delivering content to the Enski digital learning environment, which runs in HTML5, and we can deliver on desktop, on a mobile device. We're developing a virtual reality interface. We're simulating these conversations in these scenarios. We're relying on cloud-based cognitive services to do the speech recognition processing and increasingly the natural language processing, where what Enski is doing is taking that and applying it in a learning context to understand conversations with learners, language learners, understanding the common mistakes that they make and being able to respond accordingly to that. So we were able to leverage these cloud-based services and apply them in a new way to solve learning problems. And then we're developing Enski Builder in the back end for creating these role-play simulations. Our goal is to open this up as a platform so that people can use this for other types of critical conversations, for things like sexual harassment training, for coaching in a workplace context. There are a lot of sales training. These are examples of some of the types of applications that come to us. People want to use our technology to provide role-play simulations of these types of situations. So this has led to a new type of development process that I want to highlight. So on the left is the conventional way, what we and many people do in the industry, is you do analyze, and then you design, and then you develop, and then you implement, and then you get to evaluate, and hopefully you'll do some evaluation, or maybe things will get stuck there. In the new process, you collect data of what the learners do and what you want the learners to do. You train a model based upon that data. You then deliver a service incorporating that model, which is also collecting more data, and the process iterates. So we call this a data-driven approach to instructional design. So let me give you an example of how this is applied. One of our first trial sites, as I mentioned, for Enski was Thailand. So that was a surprise to us. We were going to have Thai speakers trying to learn English. So that raised the question, well, what kind of mistakes do Thai speakers make when they learn English? We did not have an idea, but we had a tool for collecting data from learners. So we started collecting data from our Thai speakers. We analyzed that. We used that to improve the error model built in Enski. And so now the system is able, with good reliability, to recognize and provide feedback based upon a model of learner errors that includes errors of Thai speakers. So this iterative process of data collection, continual update of the models, I think has profound implications for the way we design and deliver learning systems. So this fits within a larger digital ecosystem. Let me say a little bit more about that. So there's the digital ecosystem of the cognitive services that the Googles and the Microsofts and the IBMs provide. Then there is the broader context in which these simulations are integrated with other learning materials. So to be able to integrate with learning management systems, but increasingly with producers of other digital learning products. So for example, we're working with major publishers, international publishers like McGraw-Hill, like Educational Testing Service, who are developing digital learning products. But say in the case of McGraw-Hill, their expertise is in creating textbooks. And so they know how to create digital textbooks. They don't necessarily know how to create interactive learning experiences. So we just completed a trial with them, and they came to the realization that they would be better off integrating our capability into their digital English language learning product rather than trying to recreate that capability itself. So it's a slow process. The big players in this industry still are inclined to do everything themselves, to create soup to nuts solutions. But they're increasingly open to the possibility of integrating other types of technologies as part of a digital ecosystem. So in one sense, that's bad news that it's taking so much time, but the good news is that it gives opportunity for companies who are putting out innovative AI-based solutions to claim what I would call the high ground in the digital landscape, the areas where they can be particularly successful and effective. And for us, that high ground is competency-based learning and assessment, where we use conversations as the tool for practice and assessment. This is where we have focused our expertise and where we are now integrating with other providers. So we think that I see this as a good example of digital ecosystem in AI-based products beginning to become real and having an impact on education. And finally, since we are in Silicon Valley, I will mention that we are raising capital to increase the global reach of the Enski platform. So if you or someone you know would like to be part of this effort we're putting together, do let me know. I'll be happy to speak with you at the break. Okay? Thank you.